Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss on the topic kinetic theory of gases. As we have already discussed in our last lecture, we have studied regarding various gas laws and the general properties of gases. Those all were based on experimental facts. Now, kinetic theory was the first theoretical attempt to explain the behavior of gases. That how we can theoretically explain such type of behavior of gases that was proposed on the basis of kinetic theory. In order to explain the observed properties of gases, a model was proposed which considered the molecular nature as well as the kinetic nature of gases, that is known as kinetic gas model. In this kinetic theory, we will consider both the molecular nature as well as kinetic nature of the gases, and on the basis of that, the model proposed is known as kinetic gas model. The kinetic theory was first proposed by a scientist named Bernoulli in 1738, and it was later extended by a number of scientists like Clausius, Maxwell, Boltzmann, van der Waals, and Jeans. Now, what are the various basic assumptions of kinetic theory of gases? We also call them as postulates of kinetic theory of gases. The first postulate is all gases made up of large number of extremely small particles called molecules. Now the second one is the molecules of a given gas will be identical in size, shape and mass. For a particular gas, the size, shape and mass of molecules will be same, and if we move to a different gas, that will be different. The molecules of a gas are separated from each other by large distances so that the force of attraction or repulsion between them would be negligible. Similarly, because of large separation among the molecules, the actual volume of molecules will be negligible as compared to the total volume of the gas. Now, next assumption is the force of gravitation on the molecules is also supposed to be negligible. The next one is the molecules of a gas are moving continuously in different directions with different velocities. So during their motion, they will keep on colliding with one another as well as on the walls of containing vessel. So due to their bombardment, they will exert pressure on the walls of the vessel. The pressure exerted on the walls is due to the bombardment of molecules on the walls of containing vessel. Now another assumption is the molecules are supposed to be perfectly elastic hard spheres. That's why the collision taking place among the molecule, that will be an elastic collision where there will be no energy loss during the collision. So the energy can only be transferred from one molecule to another molecule on collision. There will be no energy loss during the collision. Due to collision, the molecule will possess different velocities and hence different kinetic energies. And the average kinetic energy of the molecule will be directly proportional to the absolute temperature T. So these all are the postulates of kinetic theory of gases, or the basic assumptions on which the kinetic theory of gases is based. Now next one is derivation of kinetic gas equation. On the basis of various postulates we have already gone through, a mathematical equation was derived which is known as kinetic gas equation. Now how we will derive this equation? Very important. We will have to see carefully all the slides. So what we are assuming here, considering a certain amount of gas enclosed in a cubical box at a particular temperature T. So this one is the cubical box. We are assuming here the gas is at a particular temperature T and there are n molecules enclosed in this cubical box. Now the edge length of the box is L centimeter and total number of gas molecules in this cubical vessel is N. Mass of each molecule is supposed to be M. Now suppose a molecule moving with velocity v centimeter per second in any direction. So this one is the molecule that is moving with velocity v centimeter per second in a particular direction. Now this velocity v can be resolved into three mutually perpendicular components along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, that is vx, vy and vz, so that the resultant velocity v can be given by this expression where v square is equal to vx square plus vy square plus vz square. Now for the derivation, we will first assume only the component vx of this velocity v to make the calculation easier. So considering the motion of the molecule due to component vx only, it will strike opposite faces A and B at right angle to the x-axis. We are considering this Vx component. Due to this Vx component, the molecule will strike against the faces A and B. Now the momentum of molecule before striking face A will be equal to m into Vx, mass into velocity, and velocity here is Vx. So the momentum of molecule before striking face A will be equal to m into Vx. Now, as the collision is elastic, the molecule will return back with the same velocity, but the direction will be different. Direction is opposite, so it is moving again back with the velocity minus Vx. So, the momentum of molecule after striking face A will be equal to m into minus Vx in opposite direction. So, this is equal to minus m Vx. Now, the net change in momentum in one collision on face A due to component Vx, that will be equal to mvx minus mvx, that is equal to 2mvx. So we are getting here the net change in momentum on face A in one collision due to component Vx, that is equal to 2mvx. Now we are going to calculate the total number of collisions per second on face A due to component Vx. Now one collision has already taken place. For next collision on face A, the molecule will have to travel from face A to B and then back from B to A. So it will have to travel a distance of L plus L equal to 12 centimeter to again collide on the face A. So the distance traveled by molecule per collision on face A is equal to 12 centimeter. Means to collide one time on face A, the molecule have to travel a distance equal to 12 centimeter. Now as the velocity of the molecule is Vx centimeter per second, as we are assuming here x component. So the molecule is moving with the velocity Vx centimeter per second. It means the molecule is covering a distance of Vx centimeter in 1 second. Now in one collision, the distance traveled by molecule is 2L. And total distance traveled by molecule in 1 second is Vx. So the total number of collision taken by molecule in 1 second will be equal to total distance divided by distance traveled by molecule in one collision. So Vx is the distance traveled by molecule in 1 second and 2L is the distance traveled by molecule in one collision. So the total number of collisions on face A in 1 second will be equal to Vx by 2L. So the change of momentum of molecule due to collision with face A per second will be equal to change in momentum per collision into में number of collisions per second. So we are having here 2mvx is a change in momentum per collision, and this is a total number of collision taking place per second. So total change in momentum per second due to component Vx on phase A, that is equal to mvx square by L. Similarly, change in momentum due to collision with phase B per second will be equal to mvx square by L. So the total change in momentum due to collision with phases A and B will be equal to 2mvx square by L. Now this is for the x-axis. We are having here total change in momentum due to collision with phases A and B per second. Per second total change in momentum on phase A and B, that is equal to 2mvx square by L. Similarly, for the phases on y-axis and z-axis due to component Vx and Vz, we will have total change in momentum that is equal to 2mvy square by L and 2mvz square by L. So adding all, we will have total change in momentum of one molecule per second on collision with all the 6 phases, that will be equal to summation of these 3. So we are having here total change in momentum of one molecule per second for all phases, that is equal to 2m by L Vx square plus Vy square plus Vz square, and which is equal to 2m V square by L. Now this calculation is only for the one molecule, and we are having total n molecules in this cubical vessel. Suppose these n molecules are moving with velocity v1, v2, v3 and vn. So the total change in momentum on all the 6 phases per second for n molecules having velocity v1, v2, v3 and vn will be given as 2m by L summation of velocity square of all the n molecules. So finally we are having the relation this is equal to 2m by L into n divided by n v1 square plus v2 square plus v3 square plus vn square. Here we are multiplying by n as well as dividing by n to get a symmetric relation here. So we are having 2mn by L into u square, where u is what? This is the root mean square velocity, which is given by this expression, where root mean square velocity is equal to square root of summation of squares of the various velocities divided by n. Now, change in momentum per second is the rate of change of momentum, and according to Newton's second law, the rate of change of momentum means force. So we can say the force exerted by n molecules on all the 6 phases, that is equal to 2mn by L u square, which we have calculated in our last slide. That is 2mn by L u square. So this will be equal to the force exerted by n molecules on all the 6 phases. Now the pressure is force per unit area, and the total area of all the 6 phases is 6L square, 6 times into L square for each phase. So we are having pressure is equal to 1 by 3 mnu square by V, and finally we are getting the relation PV is equal to 1 by 3 mnu square, and this is known as kinetic gas equation. So this is all about the derivation of kinetic gas equation. By using this kinetic gas equation, we can calculate the average kinetic energy of the molecules in terms of temperature. As we are doing here in this slide, the average translational kinetic energy of gas molecule, how we can determine this, calculate this. The average kinetic energy of a molecule at a temperature T is equal to 1 by 2 mu square, where u is the velocity. This is the general equation for translational kinetic energy. We already go through this 1 by 2 mv square. Here v is replaced by u. So the total energy of gas containing n molecules will be equal to 1 by 2 mnu square. Now using the kinetic gas equation, we are having here PV is equal to 1 by 3 mnu square. So multiplying by 2 divided by 2, we can write it as 2 by 3 kinetic energy. Now using ideal gas equation for 1 mole of ideal gas, PV is equal to RT. We will have here RT is equal to 2 by 3 of kinetic energy. So we can write kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT for 1 mole of an ideal gas. So we have calculated here kinetic energy for 1 mole of the ideal gas. So if we want to calculate it for per molecule, we will have to divide it by Avogadro number, so that we will get here the Boltzmann constant, so that the average kinetic energy per molecule of the gas, that will be equal to 3 by 2 kT, where K is the Boltzmann constant. So this is all about the kinetic gas equation. Thank you.